is the most important news story of the day?
I would probably have to say the fact that President Obama doesn't know how to spell respect.
When Aretha first told us what R.E.S.P.E.C.T meant to her.
But the good thing is it's a well-known video.
Yes.
Or song.
Yes.
It's a well-known song.
Aretha Franklin. In fact, what they were doing was they were honoring Aretha Franklin at the time.
Oh, that's
and apparently she was there.
That's very... I'm sure she felt very honored.
I'm sure she did.
Did he correct himself after?
No, he did not. He just kept going.
She had no idea it would become a rallying cry for African Americans and women. And then everyone who felt marginalized because of what they looked like or who they loved, they wanted some respect.
I guess the next most important thing, if you don't have anything else to say about that, would be... In California, they changed some regulations for chicken farmers.
Really?
Yeah, they now have to have a larger cage to live in so that they're happier.
The farmers? The chickens.
The landmark California law is under attack tonight, and it concerns how animals are treated on the farm. California voters overwhelmingly approved new rules for egg producers, but as KCRA 3's Mike Lurie shows us tonight, that new law is not going over easy.
There's no squawking over conditions here at Full Belly Farms in Gwinda, California. That's because all 800 hens are free range, with no cages to confine them.
Everything about them really was made to be outside foraging for bugs and grass, getting the nutrients that they need from the outside.
The chickens will be happier now because they'll be able to run around. Yes. And they'll be able to scrape the mud, right? And obviously that's going to make a chicken happier.
Scraping mud is going to make a chicken happier.
You can walk around and scratch the mud.
Now, is this happier chicken translating into tastier meat? Is that what we're supposed to be getting?
No, I don't think that's part of the goal.
That's not part of the goal?
I think the goal is just to make the chicken happier while it's in captivity, preparing for its imminent death.
Its imminent death. How much is this going to cost now? It's going to be a big expense to the farmers, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to house as many chickens. You know, they won't be able to raise as many chickens. And
so they got to buy all new cages, and then they've got less places to put it because it's bigger.
Chicken farmers have until January 2015 to comply with Prop 2. Frank Hilliker says going cage-free would boost his labor costs dramatically, and it makes no sense to spend up to $1 million for a new caging system.
Until I can get some guidelines to see what I can do, what it's going to cost me, what my return on investment is going to be, I can't make those decisions.
But is it easier to deal with happy chickens or unhappy chickens?
Are the chickens going to be happy when you go and grab them by the legs and they hang up down like this? Seems to me that they weren't very happy when Napoleon Dynamite was doing it. Remember that?
Oh no, they were not happy. They had large talons.
Them 8,000 hens moved into their new cages. Sometimes they don't want to cooperate. If you give them a good shaking, they'll settle down for you.
Do the chickens have large talons?
Do they have what?
Large talons.
I don't understand a word you just said.
And not only that, but they were stuffed into little bitty boxes too. So that's California for you, huh?
Yeah, so it's a common case of the government wanting to help without really knowing what's really going to make the chickens happy. And that is a good question. Will the chicken taste better because the chickens are happier during their lives in captivity?
I would think that would be a primary, reason for doing anything would be to improve the taste of the chickens.
Makes a lot of sense to me, but these types of regulations don't always make a lot of sense.
They don't. Well, most regulations don't seem to make a whole lot of sense.
You could call it a food fight over chickens, with California now forced to defend itself in a lawsuit against the state of Missouri. In this complaint, Missouri's Attorney General declares that California's egg law is invalid, claiming it violates the Interstate Commerce Clause of the Constitution. He says forcing Missouri farmers to use bigger cages would cost them $120 million, and that ultimately consumers would pay more at the grocery store.
We will just have to import some chickens from California in the next couple of months and see how things are going.